Hey finance virtuosos! Today, we're going to be talking about something that might go against a lot of the conventional wisdom out there, but I promise you, it's a game changer when it comes to building real, sustainable wealth. This is the Finance Virtuoso channel. If you're new here, hit subscribe and the notification bell for the best money tips and tricks. I know the common belief is that being rich and successful means flaunting your wealth, driving the fancy cars, wearing the designer clothes, living in the big mansion. But let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, one of the biggest ironies of money and wealth is that you actually don't have to look rich to be rich. In fact, looking poor is often the secret to building real, long-lasting wealth. That might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. I'm going to give you 7 solid reasons why looking poor is actually the way to go if you want to get financially secure and set yourself up for the long term. The first reason is that looking rich is the quickest way to going broke. Think about all those professional athletes who start making millions, but then end up broke a few years later. Why does that happen? It's because they start trying to look rich. They buy the big houses, the fancy cars, the lavish lifestyle, and before you know it, their expenses skyrocket to match their income. But the thing is, income isn't the same as wealth. Just because you're making a ton of money, doesn't mean you're actually building wealth. In fact, it's the opposite. When you try to look rich, you end up loading yourself down with all these liabilities, car payments, mortgages, credit card bills. And those liabilities, they're like an anchor weighing you down, preventing you from actually growing your wealth. On the other hand, when you look poor and live modestly, you free up that extra cash to actually invest in assets, things like your emergency fund, stocks, real estate. That's how you build real wealth over time. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're just focused on growing your net worth, one smart financial decision at a time. The second reason looking poor is the way to go is that it prevents you from getting burdened down with all those liabilities. When you try to look rich, you end up buying things like fancy cars and big houses, and those come with monthly payments that can absolutely crush you. But when you look poor and live modestly, you avoid taking on all those liabilities. Instead, you can funnel that extra cash into building your assets and growing your wealth. Think about it this way. Would you rather have a closet full of expensive designer clothes that you have to make payments on every month, or would you rather have a nice little nest egg of investments and savings that are going to pay dividends for years to come? For me, the choice is obvious. The third reason is that looking poor keeps you out of that survival mode mentality. When you're constantly trying to look rich and keep up with all those liabilities, you end up in this vicious cycle of just trying to survive from paycheck to paycheck. You make money, you spend money, you make money, you spend money, it's exhausting. But when you look poor and live modestly, you free up that mental bandwidth to actually focus on building wealth. You're not stressed about how you're going to make the next car payment or mortgage payment. Instead, you can put that energy into growing your assets, investing for the long term, and really taking control of your financial future. The fourth reason is that looking poor helps you avoid people trying to take advantage of you. Let's be real, we live in a dog-eat-dog world, and if people think you have money, they're going to try to get a piece of it. Your friends and family might start feeling entitled to your wealth, and you might end up surrounded by phony people just trying to get something from you. But when you look like an average Joe, people treat you like an equal. They're more authentic in their interactions with you, and no one's trying to get something out of you. Your relationships stay genuine, and you avoid a lot of the drama and headaches that come with looking rich. The fifth reason is that getting rich is really just a collection of small decisions made over time. It's not about one big break or one massive windfall. It's about consistently making smart financial choices, day in and day out, and letting those compound over the years. And looking poor is key to that, because it allows you to make those small, smart decisions without being distracted by the temptation to splurge and live lavishly. Think about it, a smaller house, a cheaper car, living modestly in general, those little savings add up quickly. And when you've got that extra cash, you can plow it into building your assets, whether that's investing in the stock market, buying rental properties, or just stashing it away in a high-yield savings account. It's those small decisions, made over and over again, that really build wealth in the long run. The sixth reason is that true wealth doesn't need to prove itself. When you've got real wealth and financial security, you don't feel the need to flaunt it or convince everyone around you that you're rich. You know it, and that's what matters. Those people who are always trying to look rich, they're usually just drowning in debt, using credit cards and loans to fund a lifestyle they can't actually afford. But when you've got real wealth and financial freedom, you don't need that validation from others. You can just focus on living your best life, without worrying about what anyone else thinks. And that, my friends, is the ultimate power of looking poor. The less you care about impressing others, the more you can use your money as a tool to live the life you truly want. And finally, the seventh reason looking poor is so important is that financial peace is just way better than looking rich. Sure, fancy possessions and material goods might seem cool, but at the end of the day, nothing beats that sense of security and freedom that comes with having real wealth. When you look poor and live modestly, you're able to save more, invest more, and build that financial cushion that lets you sleep easy at night. You don't have to stress about unexpected expenses or job loss, because you've got that wealth buffer to fall back on. And that kind of peace of mind, that's worth way more than any big house or luxury car. So there you have it, 7 rock-solid reasons why looking poor is actually the secret to building real, sustainable wealth. It might go against the grain of what society tells us we should aspire to, but trust me, taking this approach is a total game changer. When you prioritize looking rich over actually building wealth, you end up weighed down by liabilities, stuck in that survival mode mentality, and constantly worrying about what other people think. But when you embrace looking poor and focus on growing your assets, you free yourself up to truly thrive. You can still enjoy the finer things in life, but you do it from a place of real financial security, not just trying to keep up appearances. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. You can keep chasing that illusion of wealth, or you can take the path less traveled and actually build real, sustainable wealth. Me? I know which one I'm choosing. I'm going to keep rocking my faded t-shirts and beat-up old Honda, because I know that's the secret to financial freedom and peace of mind. So what do you say? Are you ready to start looking poor and building real wealth? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more tips and strategies to take control of your financial future. I'll catch you in the next one.